Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tech Guide. My name is Akin, and today we will be talking about the Apple Vision Pro and whether it's a pretty genius innovation or just a tech fail that's waiting to happen. Before we get into this video, if you haven't already, be sure to give us this channel a like and a sub. Okay, let's get into it. And also, something else that's going on under the surface. Alright, so I can't just leave you all hanging, so I will tell you what's going on under the surface. Well, you see, Apple, it's a company, right? A company that's priority is to sell products to the consumer. So you could also say that the priority is to make these products desirable to the consumers. And the iPhone's pretty desirable, not gonna lie. But let's take this Apple Vision Pro now, shall we? Well, first of all, it's priced at $3,500. That's We all know that Apple products are expensive, but this is just on a whole new level. Okay, now consider the fact that it's only a US launch. It's almost as if they don't want you to try it. It's okay, let's just go and look at some other aspects of the product. Does it have this new killer game that everyone's talking about, like Beat Saber? Maybe there's some killer feature that everyone's gonna love. Or maybe a huge problem that got fixed. No, no, and no. What we instead got were some pretty niche features that were very cool, but very few people would notice. And this is what Apple would have normally done when they're upgrading, like when they're moving on from the 14 to 15, like that, because they already have a good image established with that product. But as something completely new, you wanna at least hit the three that I showed on screen. The main one being some sort of problem being fixed. So if it's doing none of those, if its price point is so high that most people won't be able to afford it, and if it's only released in one specific country, it seems as if Apple doesn't want you to buy it. Hmm. Now the obvious question here is why? Why does this exist? Why is Apple doing this? Are they shooting themselves in the foot here? Is this a soon to be fail? No. To put it simply, Apple wants this to be a proof of concept. But that's not really giving us the full detail. Because there are VR headsets and headsets, and they have been around for a long time before. So, what are they trying to show here? Well, imagine you are a developer. Would you rather spend your time developing an app for an experimental new piece of technology like the AR and VR headsets that you're not really sure it's going to take off? Or will you instead spend that time creating a mobile app? I don't know, maybe a new game that you know is definitely gonna be profitable or at least gonna get your attention? So we've come to a stage now where the developers are unsure. And you need the developers on your side if you're trying to go into a new market, if you're trying to create a new market, which is what these AR and VR headset companies are trying to do. So, by extension, what Apple is trying to do now. So, it's kind of like this. Apple has a reputation for not releasing a new product until they're absolutely sure that they've done it perfectly. That's why we don't have an Apple foldable yet. And that's why Apple is very rare the people to experiment with new technologies nowadays. So Apple has built this kind of trust with their brand that basically tells them, oh, we've made this product. That means that we are 100% sure of its capabilities. So what Apple is doing here is that they're banking on the trust in Apple that they've created through their other products and through their other years of hard work to get innovation in the area to increase. So that they can get, not only can they get a new foot in the market, but they can also make sure that the market exists in the first place. That's all said and done. But here's the thing, if Apple really wants innovation to increase here, they've got to do something on their own, don't you think? So let's look at this Apple Vision Pro and see, is this really innovation or just fail? So one change that you'll notice is the eyes. The Apple Vision Pro does not require a controller like most VR headsets do. Instead, it relies on your eyes and your hands for the primary source of input. That's nice because it makes you feel more integrated with the technology, which is especially useful given that an AR headset's entire job is to make you integrated with the technology. That's nice. Okay, let's see what else they've done. So imagine that this is a street and you're the guy in the blue shirt. Now, how do you know this man in the suit isn't recording you? You would want to know if he's recording you, right? What if you do something stupid? What if he uploads it on YouTube? What if, anyhow, recording you without your permission is unethical and also a crime? So, how do you know? Most headsets, you can't. You don't know. You just have to hope for the best. Apple actually fixed this problem, so no more question mark for you. If the person is actually recording or using the Apple Vision Pro, you won't be able to see their eyes, as you can see here. But the moment they switch back to normal vision, where they can see what the real world looks like, you'll be able to see their eyes. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, there are obviously some issues. I would have liked it if it had an internal battery like the Meta Quest 2. So this battery in your pocket business. And again, the insanely high price point basically killed off most of the people who would be interested in buying it. But let's move on. There is one more caveat that we have to talk about. So while we already talked about the price being way too high, and of the fact that it has no internal battery and other problems like that, this issue is more widespread with the AR and VR market. By using these headsets, you're basically giving your vision to these companies and taking a headset. What does this mean? Well, imagine if we live in a future where we wear these headsets at all times. Now imagine you're eating your morning bowl of cereal and suddenly you get an ad of milk or cereal, targeted advertising. So you now, if it was on your phone, you'd have the choice. Okay, I'll just put my phone away and look at my laptop instead, or I'll go outside and touch grass for once. But at the point where it's strapped onto your face, I mean, you can take it off and you can switch between apps, but would you? Most likely not, right? So is this not too much power? There are more examples of this. Now let's take Apple's Vision Pro. I would actually consider it as a TV replacement as well, given the fact that if I got one, I would not go to my TV. I just watch TV whenever I feel like it on my 200-inch virtual screen. So on a TV, what are the three most common apps that you'll definitely see? YouTube, Netflix, and Spotify. So are they there on the Vision Pro pre-installed? No. No. Would you look at that? No. What is pre-installed? Apple TV, of course. So at this point, you might be wondering, yeah, well, that's just normal. My phone Safari is pre-installed, so that doesn't make it a crime. Yeah, that's true. But now on your phone, you could just download Google Chrome and be done with it. What's the experience like over here? Let's see. Most of these apps you can only access through the web, and that's the iPad version. That doesn't really matter because you are still accessing them through the web. By accessing through the web, what you're doing is you are inhibiting most of the functionalities of these apps. Now, I personally like Spotify mostly because I can make playlists, I can download them, and I can play them on a car ride. You probably won't be wearing Apple Vision Pro in your car, but you would want to listen to music while you're wearing it in an airplane, maybe. I like Netflix because the same thing. I can download my favorite episodes of Young Sheldon and watch them on the plane or on the car while my dad's driving. Obviously, don't do not wear this and drive. I have to say that. And I would also like to download some YouTube videos and then watch them. But can you download anything if it's on your web? You can't, right? So basically, you end up with a future where you are sitting in your room in the room with your TV. You're just not using it. You're sitting in the same room because you had the Wi-Fi, or you're sitting in your house. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. You're sitting in your house, and then you are watching something. So the moment you step outside, you either need to accept the fact that you're going to be streaming Netflix on your phone's mobile data through hotspot, which I don't think most people would like to do, or just put it down and touch some grass, which is good for you. Don't get me wrong, but does it not defeat the functionality of this product? So the only way you can download is with Apple TV. Is that not too much power? Okay, I think we focus on the negatives a bit too much. All in all, I think the Apple Vision Pro is a step in a good direction. I didn't exactly say the right direction here, I said a good direction. And that's because we have no idea what the right direction is. 10 years ago, people would have said, oh, 3D TVs are the right direction. 2024 says otherwise, right? The future cannot be predicted by anyone. So we can't say that this is the right way, but at least the way it's heading, we can say that it's not going the wrong way. So it has to be a good way. All in all, I think that times are changing, and that we as humanity, as human race, and as individual human beings need to be prepared to deal with what we've created. The last thing we want is a society where these corporations follow us around and haunt us like demons, showing us advertisements all the time and trying to make money. Because we have to remember that the end objective here is still money. But if we stay mindful as consumers and know when we are being manipulated and know when these companies are overexercising their control and reject it in our minds, then we can take the benefits of this hyper tech focused world that we're going to be going into the future without having most of the negatives. Keyword being most. Alright, and now we have approached the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And this is Aken at Tech Guide signing off. I'll catch you in the next one.